Welcome to Tell Me More Stories Told His podcast.
Great to be here.
Today we're jumping into the life and career of someone we all feel like we know, right? Matt LeBlanc.
Definitely a familiar face, but we're going beyond just, how you doing today?
Exactly. Forget the dry bio facts. We're digging into this story, the journey from his early days, way before Joey Tribbiani, right through to, well, everything that came after.
Absolutely. Our mission, if you will, is to really understand that arc, his first dreams, the Friends explosion, obviously, what happened next, maybe some surprising turns along the way.
Yeah, should be some interesting stuff, maybe a few aha moments. Let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
So, Matthew Stephen LeBlanc, born in Newton, Massachusetts, July 25th, 1967.
And an interesting background, too, French-Canadian and Italian roots. Gives you a bit of context.
Right, that mix adds a layer. So, picture this. He's 17, moves to New York.
Big dreams.
Yeah, modeling dreams. But here's the first twist. He gets told he's too short for modeling.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. Can you imagine? So that door slams shut, but then someone invites him to an acting audition.
And that's the pivot. Funny how things work out. A rejection leads him straight to acting.
To a little sliding doors moment, isn't it? That one little no changes everything.
It really does. Shows how, setbacks aren't always just setbacks. Sometimes they're redirections. Got to be ready for that.
You really do.
Okay.
And speaking of tough times, before Friends hit, the stories are pretty dramatic. Like he was down to his last $11.
$11. That's cutting it close. Really close.
Seriously, it just highlights how precarious that acting world can be, right? The hustle is real.
Oh, you bet. That kind of pressure, it either breaks you or, well, maybe it fuels you. Puts that eventual success in perspective.
Totally. Okay, so let's rewind just a bit before the Friends juggernaut. He wasn't just waiting around, he was working.
Right. Building the resume.
Yeah. Fun fact, remember that Heinz ketchup commercial from, 1987?
Vaguely. Was he in that?
He was. That was one of his early gigs. A little bit of screen time.
Ah, amazing. Got to start somewhere.
Exactly. And then more serious TV stuff. He was in a drama called TV 101 back in 88, 89.
Okay, right.
And then came that role people might remember, Vinny Verducci on Married with Children. That started in 91.
Vinny. Yeah, okay, I remember him. That was a pretty popular show already. Getting a recurring part there was decent exposure.
For sure. It showed he had comedic chops, that presence.
And that Vinny character actually led to more, didn't it? Spin-offs.
It did. Not one, but two. Married with Children spin-offs.
Mm.
First Top of the Heap in 91.
Right.
And then Vinny and Bobby in 92.
Okay, I don't really remember those lasting long, though.
No, they were pretty short-lived. But I mean, starring in your own shows, even briefly, that shows the network had faith in him, saw potential there. It's all steps on the ladder.
Definitely part of the process. You try things, some work, some don't. You learn, you get seen.
And here's another angle to his early career music videos.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
He was in Bon Jovi's Miracle video back in 1990.
No way!
Yep. And then again for them in Say It Isn't So in 2000. Also, Alanis Morissette's Walk Away.
Alanis. Wow.
Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Into the Great Wide Open. Even Bob Seger's Night Moves.
That's quite a list. Bon Jovi, Alanis, Tom Petty, Bob Seger. It's pretty cool. Shows versatility.
Right. Different vibe, different artists, getting comfortable on camera in all sorts of ways.
Yeah, that makes sense. Good experience. Okay, so we've got the commercials, the early TV roles, the spin-off attempts, the music videos. The groundwork was definitely laid.
Absolutely. He was hustling. And then everything changed.
Then came Friends.
Friends, yeah. The role of Joey Tribbiani, 1994. That was it. The turning point.
Huge. And he played Joey for, 12 years straight? Across Friends and then the spin-off Joey?
12 years.
Mm.
That character became, just instantly recognizable. Dim-witted but lovable, as they say.
Totally. And the show itself, Friends, was just this cultural behemoth, wasn't it? Thursday nights on NBC, everyone watched it.
Everyone. He and the rest of the cast became global superstars, basically overnight. That ensemble chemistry was just lightning in a bottle.
It really was. And it wasn't just popular. He got critical nods, too, right? For playing Joey.
Yeah, definitely. He got 3 Primetime Emmy nominations, 3 Golden Globe nominations, and a Screen Actors Guild nomination, too.
See, so recognition from the industry, not just the fans, which is important.
Yeah.
It showed he brought something special to that role.
He really did. He made Joey more than just the lines. There was a warmth there.
Agreed. Now, while all this Friends madness was happening, he was also trying his hand at movies.
Right, dipping his toes into film.
Well,
There was Lookin' Italian Ed.
Oh, God, Ed. The baseball chimpanzee movie?
That's the one. Yeah. Memorable, maybe not for the best reasons, but hey, he did it.
Ah, true.
Then Lost in Space, the Charlie's Angels movies.
Right, Charlie's Angels 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Bigger budget stuff.
Yeah, trying to balance the massive TV success with building a film career is a common path.
Makes sense. You want to stretch, try different things, see what else is out there beyond the sitcom stage.
Totally. But then, after the Joey spinoff ended in 2006, he kind of disappeared for a bit.
Right, he took a break, didn't he?
He did. Said he'd take a year off television acting, but that 1 year turned into 5.
5 years. Wow. That's a significant pause, especially after being so visible for so long.
Yeah, it really makes you wonder, maybe burnout. Maybe just needing to step back and figure out what's next after playing such an iconic character for so long.
Could be both. That kind of intense fame for that long. I can imagine needing a breather. Time to reassess, maybe. Decide what he wanted to do, not just what came next. It takes courage to step off the treadmill like that.
It really does. But the return, when it came in 2011, it was pretty brilliant.
Episodes.
Yes, episodes where he played himself. Well, a version of himself.
A hilarious, fictionalized, self-deprecating version. It was such a smart move.
So smart. He just completely flipped the script, showed this whole other side, willing just to poke fun at his own image, the industry.
Oh, absolutely. The writing was sharp, and he just seemed to nail that tone. It felt like a real reinvention.
And the critics loved it. 4 more Emmy nominations for episodes, and he won the Golden Globe in 2012.
He won. Best Actor for Episodes. That's huge. It really cemented the comeback, didn't it? Proved he was more than just Joey.
Totally. Showed his range, his comedic timing in a whole new light. Really smart, sophisticated comedy.
Yeah, it definitely changed perceptions. Okay, so Episodes is a hit. He's back, critically acclaimed. And then he does something else completely unexpected.
Top Gear.
Top Gear. Co-hosting a British car show. That came out of left field for a lot of people.
It really did. But here's a great bit of trivia. Before he was even a host, he went on the show as a guest, for the Star in a Reasonably Priced Car segment.
Yeah, I remember that segment.
Well, back in 2012, he set the fastest lap time. He actually beat Rowan Atkinson's record.
Get out! He beat Mr. Bean!
He did. 1 minute, 42.1 seconds in a Kia Ceed.
Yeah.
So it turns out the guy can actually drive.
That's amazing. So maybe the Top Gear gig wasn't that random after all. He clearly had a passion and some skill.
Exactly. That performance probably put him on their radar. So he co-hosted from 2016 to 2019.
Why did he leave?
He said it was mainly the travel and time commitment, wanting to spend more time with his family in the U.S., which is understandable.
Yeah, fair enough. Balancing that kind of international gig with family life, tough.
But even while doing Top Gear, he wasn't done with sitcoms. He starred in Man with a Plan on CBS.
Right, that ran for a few seasons too, didn't it? 2016 to 2020.
Yeah. So keeping a foot firmly in that traditional sitcom world, showing he can still anchor a network comedy.
Still connecting with that broad audience. Reliable presence.
And then, of course, the big one for fans of Friends, the reunion special in 2021.
Oh, yeah. That was quite the event. Emotional for a lot of people, seeing them all back together.
Definitely. A real trip down memory lane, and just seeing that chemistry again, even just talking. It reminded everyone why that show was and is so beloved.
A huge cultural moment for sure.
Okay, quick pause here. If you're enjoying this deep dive into Matt LeBlanc's journey, and you want more stories like this, more explorations behind the scenes of culture and careers,
then definitely hit that subscribe button for Tell Me More.
Yeah, don't miss out on what we uncover next. All right, so moving beyond the screen, what about Matt LeBlanc, the person? We know about the cars now. Clearly a genuine passion, not just a hosting gig.
Makes that Top Gear thing make perfect sense.
Right. And here's another pre-fame detail. He actually worked as a carpenter.
A carpenter, really?
Yeah, before acting really took off. It's kind of cool, right? A practical skill,
Yeah.
Grounded.
Definitely adds another dimension. Shows he had a life, before Hollywood swept him up. Probably kept him grounded later, too.
Maybe so. On the personal front, he was married to Melissa McKnight from 2003 to 2006. They have a daughter together. And they apparently went through some tough times early on with their daughter's health. Just a reminder that, fame doesn't insulate you from real-life struggles.
Absolutely not. Important to remember, they're real people dealing with real things, just like anyone else.
He was also in a long-term relationship with Andrea Anders, his Joey co-star, for quite a while after his marriage ended.
Right, from about 2006 to 2014, I think.
Yeah, around then. So relationships, family,
Yeah,
life happens alongside the career.
always does.
Okay, here's another fun little detail, kind of humanizing. You know his hair in Hair. Friends. Always dark.
Yeah, classic Joey hair.
Well, apparently he started going gray around the second season.
No. Really? Season 2?
Yep. He dyed it the entire time Friends was on. Only stopped dyeing it after the show ended.
That's hilarious. All those years hiding the gray. Relatable.
Totally relatable. Just a little behind-the-scenes glimpse makes him seem less like a TV icon and more like, yeah, well, a guy getting older.
Exactly. Great little piece of trivia.
So these days, he mostly lives in Pacific Palisades, out in Los Angeles.
Makes sense. Heart of the industry, but maybe a bit more laid back.
Seems fitting. Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. We've covered a lot of ground. What's the big picture here? What does Matt LeBlanc's story tell us?
Well, I mean, it's definitely a story of resilience, isn't it? Facing that early rejection, the financial struggles.
Right, that $11.
Yeah. And then hitting it massive with friends, but also it's about what comes after that kind of massive success. How do you navigate that?
And he did it by taking breaks, by taking risks, like episodes, trying unexpected things like Top Gear. He showed adaptability.
Exactly. He wasn't afraid to step away, reinvent himself, even poke fun at himself. He didn't just rest on being Joey forever.
Which is key. That initial modeling rejection, it could have stopped him, but it didn't. It pushed him onto a different path.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? How often does something that feels like a failure or a closed door actually end up being the thing that points you toward where you're really supposed to be?
That's a great point. What seems like an obstacle might just be a detour onto a better road. It's something to consider, for sure.
We hope this look at Matt LeBlanc's story gave you some things to chew on, maybe spark some curiosity.
Yeah, what part of his journey stood out most to you? Or what other familiar faces have hidden depths we should explore? That's really what Tell Me More is all about.
So join us next time for another deep dive.
See you then.